Do you feel that there can be producers who can approach him for roles now?
Why won't they approach? There will be 1 kilometer line if he says, I want to sign Pillar.
Maybe a lot of people there are of the opinion that he's being targeted and there's an element of jealousy involved within the industry, for example.
See, it's also inherent part of human nature. Every guy wants the best girl he can get. There's no such thing as industry, first of all. That's a fallacy.
Aamir had certain issues, and apparently you ended up saying that the actor who played Pakia, that maybe he acted better than Aamir.
So I said that, but I said that in this context. But Khalid went ahead and wrote a line.
So what do you think is the contribution of Ranveer Singh in the success of Dhurandhar?
See, I believe Dhurandhar, most contribution, I believe only can be given to, for the simple reason, none of those actors were as effective in any other film before that. Actor को अच्छा लगा इसलिए हम दे रहे हैं ना पैसे, not for the writer alone. Truth doesn't have any value today because we don't trust the institutions, we don't trust people, we don't trust the media. Hi, this is Gopal Varma, and you're watching highly memorable conversations with Faridoon Shahryar.
An FWICE and not Ranveer Singh, the so-called ban or non-cooperation in the style of Gandhiji will eventually become a big fat joke on FWIC. So, don't you think that you are being a bit harsh?
See, I don't know what harsh means because when you want to make a point of what you feel, you choose words which should convey the point. That's how I look at it, you know? Yeah. So that's as far as the words are concerned. And the thought behind it, see, I find it very difficult to understand if a dispute between two parties and where the others have not chance of knowing, if at all someone comes in, a third party, which is an established thing where a court will decide based on the evidence submitted, whether it's valid or not, and it will give whatever order it seems justified. How would a third party, without absolutely any kind of a judicial process or accepted norms, go ahead and pronounce these kind of judgments? That
Right.
is
So
my
you've
point.
also
Yeah,
right. You said that
yeah,
isn't industry or worker protection like they're claiming. It is just a pure performative muscle flexing by an
yeah.
extremely outdated union system desperately trying to hold on to their grip. Whether it claims to speak for over 5 lakh or 50 lakh workers, the brutal truth is that most of those lakhs don't even know the internal facts of the two
Correct.
parties dispute. Okay, now the whole idea is that a lot of workers they depend on their livelihood. Now Dhurandhar is a huge hit. Dhurandhar 2 is a bigger hit. So in today's day and age, getting people to cinema halls is not easy. But what is also being said is that a lot of money was wasted in the pre-production for Dawn 3, and that is something that the producers they are having like a difficult situation.
Yeah, but that is what I'm saying. What is that wastage? Those details of it are concerned with the particular person. You see, if I'm entering into an agreement with somebody where we are going to work mutually for creating something, and there'll be a pre-production agreement on the signing and who's responsible for what are the deliverables, without knowing all those details, throwing numbers in the air, even if the numbers are true, I'm not talking about whether they're valid or not, it is still between them. How will outsiders come into that? That is my whole question. You know. And second point is like workers are dependent. So here are the workers aggrieved? First of all, that's not true. See, if the producer is signing some technicians or whoever for the in the case of a certain project which is going to go on floor, and if they spent money, that is between who they sign, not. And if X person is making the not making the project possible, that is a separate dispute between these two. Where do the workers come in? Workers already given the time, they have made the effort, and the producer is liable to pay them any which way. How are they getting affected?
Right. Okay, so we've had discussions on Dhurandhar in the recent times, and Ranveer is really at the top of his game right now. So would you agree that in today's day and age, every film is not meant for cinema halls? It's difficult to get to people to cinema halls. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but that is true. But that is the basic look out for the set producer. No?
Hmm.
See, there are so many businesses operating. It could be restaurants and hotels and stores, whatever it is. All of them
Hmm.
make an informed call, information for themselves that they're willing to take a call on doing business. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the people are going to get affected are the decision makers.
Hmm.
So,
No.
on one hand, you can say a Kashmir Files won't work in the theaters but became a blockbuster. Same thing with Kerala Story. So it's not a question we all know if there are thousands of restaurants, all of them don't work, no? Why are we isolating only films?
No, but sir, when it comes to the both Kashmir Files and the Kerala Story, and Dhurandhar, now there is something which is really making people come to the theaters. Like
Yeah.
I saw a movie like Chand Mera Dil, for example, in a movie
Hmm.
hall, and I was like, that why the hell did they have to release it in a cinema hall? This could have done
Hmm. Hmm.
pretty well on OTT, for example. So, in today's day and age, would you agree that there has to be the audience is not going to come in theaters unless and until there is something really really spellbinding, or the word of mouth is very very positive
Hmm.
about a film? Would you agree with that? These
See,
are
that
different
is
times.
true. I mean, see, but my point is that is a call the producer of Chand Mera Dil has to take, no? Not you, na. See,
Hmm.
you not put money. You're not interested in watching it, or you watched it or didn't like it. Okay, one of the
Hmm.
two. But the guys are putting in crores of rupees and their effort and time. They didn't think that, and eventually they will be the people. If it doesn't work, they'll suffer. So why are we concerned about that?
Okay, so basically
No.
the point I'm trying to make is that
Yeah,
a movie like Dhurandhar 2,
yeah,
even you said, for example, several South Indian films, and after that we saw what happened.
yeah.
They are not going to work at the box office because the entire formula has gone wrong. Okay, and Dhurandhar is something that has set parameters. So in that context, big screen experience has become rather selective.
Hmm.
People have options when they have options of on, like, say, mobile phone, for example, to watch content on mobile phones, or like, say, wait for a movie to come on Netflix. They will go in theaters only if it is something really really spectacular. And Dhurandhar gave that experience, and Ranveer Singh is one star who has given that big machismo star
Yeah.
element that is there, which is missing in some of the biggest stars in the recent times. So in that context, a lot of people, they are of the opinion that he benefits industry in a big way, and it is not fair. Maybe a lot of people, they are of the opinion that he's being targeted, and there's an element of jealousy involved within the industry, for example.
See, there are two, three different things what you're talking about. One is what films work and why they work. That always gets reset. There's no such thing as a standard formula. When War 2 was coming, nobody thought Sayara will be bigger than War 2. But
Right.
once it works, you will say, yeah, Sayara's got a great story, love story, and blah, 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 whatever it is, But that is after the fact. When we are making the film, who would think that a movie like Sayara can do better than War 2 with such big stars? So that is a separate thing. That is something I remember when Hum Aapke Kaun came, just before that, lot of David Dhawan films used to work. Raja Babu and Aankhe and whatever. At that time, a very famous columnist in Times of India, he wrote a article on why those kind of films are working and family audience stopped coming to theaters because they're watching it on video or there are no parking spaces or blah blah blah. And it sounded fantastic. And the backing of the huge hits of David Dhawan were there. And 1 week after Iqbal Masood wrote that column, Hum Aapke Kaun ke, and people came back in hordes. So the basic fact remains nobody in the industry knows nothing, but they would like to believe they know it because if they don't think like that, they can't take the next step of making the film. If Dhurandhar works, they will say, okay, films like Dhurandhar people want to watch. Instead of saying I'm copying Dhurandhar, what sounds nicer is now people want to watch realistic crime dramas or whatever the blah blah. Okay. Now, with regard to Ranveer being targeted, I still feel, see, jealousy is an inherent part of
This is an
human nature.
opinion. This is an opinion.
Yeah, and
A
it's
lot of
also
people have
inherent part of human nature. I don't think there's anything wrong in having jealousy. because without
Mm,
jealousy we are not human, you know. So
mm,
if every actor wants only his film to work, every director wants only his film to work, or every businessman wants to be the best businessman,
right.
you know, every guy wants the best girl he can get. All of us as humans, we want the best, and jealousy
Mm,
is always connected to that. If you are not getting it and someone else is getting it, and what is wrong with
mm,
that, you know?
mm,
Then after that, each person will have a different kind of information or a sensibility in how he understands it, how he experiences it. So that is just opinions. How does it make a difference even there? So eventually,
mm,
the only two parties who are aggrieved, one says, I spent a lot of money, and other says, whatever, I don't even know the reasons of what that is. You know, but
mm,
the basic truth is none of us should be concerned about it. You're making a
mm.
national debate where you are not involved financially in any which way. You are doing it for entertainment value. If we're talking about gossip, okay, to talk because we do.
Mm.
That's the only thing we do all the time.
Right, but sir, these are interesting times also because of the way a lot of media manipulation is going on. Because many times the way the stars, the stories, the way they are planted, for example, and they tend to, the blind item culture which came into light when Sushant Singh Rajput passed away, and those things came into light that those things bothered him in a way. And we've seen it in the recent times for say Kartik Aaryan as well. That's something which has been said. And now even Ranveer Singh, because Ranveer Singh has not come out openly, has not given any interviews whatsoever, that it is being said that certain amount of wave is being attempted to be created for Ranveer as well. But the overwhelming public support for him is something which is humongous. So this is maybe the having like an element of jealousy within the industry is one thing, but creating a manufacturing an opinion, that is something which is it can be rather dangerous as well.
I don't know the word dangerous. It won't make any difference at the end of the day. The only person it makes a difference is probably the two parties. And eventually that will only be a matter in the court to settle. Nowhere else. Rest of
Mm,
it is just gossiping. Like I said, how does it make a difference? People might manufacture, they might have agendas. I'm not saying that, but none of them will amount to nothing at the end of the day. See, for 5 years, I think or more, since Sushant Singh Rajput died, and what came out of it? Nobody knows. Everybody will want to believe what they want to believe. You know? That I see the basic point of truth. I think is that truth doesn't have any value today because we don't trust the institutions, we don't trust people, we don't trust the media. So everybody will believe what they want to believe in the context of that. If you're running on belief systems rather than absolute truths, this is just like a hogwash. Everything else.
right. So there's also this opinion. I'm saying this on a lighter note. I'm saying this on a lighter note. There's also
Yeah.
this opinion that after your conversations after the release of Dhurandhar and Dhurandhar 2, when you said that Dhurandhar has decimated Bollywood and it has literally
Hmm.
destroyed the. So उससे भी कुछ फर्क पड़ा है कि कि that people got really conscious. यार
Yeah.
so would you
See
agree? I'm saying
whether
it on a light. I'm,
see
I'm
whe-
saying this on a lighter note. I'm saying this on a lighter
whether
note.
no
Yeah.
whether I said it or not, I might have said it. I might have said it in a certain way, but the
Mm,
truth is there for everyone to see. The
right.
box office is the truth. The impact is the truth. The discussion going on about the film is the truth. How would anybody
Mm,
not be affected? How would anybody not be influenced by something which is staring in your face?
mm,
I am maybe a few others might have said it, others might not have said it, but it's not possible not to be impacted because it's not an opinion. It's a hard fact of what is so-called box office is and what they're hearing about the film from people who are watching the film. Yeah.
okay, so
So
even in
today
the past.
I don't know of a single production company or a filmmaker or an actor who doesn't get Dhurandhar into conversation when they're planning the next film. It is not possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely. Okay, so now even in the past as well, movies have been shelved. Actors have walked out of movies.
Yeah.
Actors have been removed from movies, for example. A lot of things
Yeah.
have happened. Do you recall in your memory that maybe such sort of incident has ever happened? The way things are happening as of now with
See,
Don 3
it
and Ranveer?
happens quite a bit in the South. I know for a fact Prakash Raj has been banned, some heroine has been banned, or
Mm,
whatever the words they use, non cooperation, whatever. But none of them
mm,
worked. because a few people
Mm,
get together and we give a press statement and say that, and after that, to see, like I mentioned in my tweet also, the only parties we should be aggrieved by this news is the producers. I did not hear a single producer making a comment on Ranveer Singh.
mm,
Hmm? And these guys talk
right.
of work. How will the workers be affected?
Mm,
See, eventually, whichever company has signed the workers or technicians, they are liable to pay in case they use their time and effort. That is something everybody does. You know? I
okay.
don't think Ranveer Singh would have had an agreement with them. I'm doing it
Mm,
because of that. You do it. He won't be a party to that agreement between a production company and somebody. Then, if the production
right.
company, on behalf of, if they paid all that money, they would want to recover, and that is something for the courts to decide of the validity of that.
Right. Okay. You also said that the verdict is often decided in advances by a group of a specific agenda-oriented people meeting privately, including actors who are scared shitless with the mega success of Ranveer Singh in Dhurandhar.
Yeah,
This will be a
yeah.
massive PR disaster. Okay, so would you like to elaborate something on this? You were
See, see, the point is like, I mean, I keep hearing discussions about somebody openly criticizing what kind of a unprofessional behavior and that, and I think it is high time we take action and we should pull the actors into some kind of a disciplinary mode.
mm,
All this is talk at the end
mm,
of the day, and they will all enough number of people say it sounds like a verdict.
mm,
The so-called boycott Karan Johar and Sushant Singh Tamna. What happened after that? Nothing happened. You know.
mm,
So I think these media or social media judgments or verdicts and all that. But the only verdict which matter will be a court of law. Rest of it are verdicts are name given. How does it affect? Today, if Ranveer Singh wants to give dates to an actor, which producer will not sign him in spite of all what you heard? Do you think they won't even have the guts to ask him to put a clause? If you are going to walk out, then you have to pay us this much money. Do you think they will do that? No, nobody will do that. Because
right.
what can build up to that will have lot of things. Nothing will be just like the way it seems. But and whatever the truth of that is, that only belongs to those two people.
Right. Okay, so
Yeah.
what is the importance of paperwork when it comes to cinema? How important is it?
See, important again for the point, like some people might not care about it because the kind of people they are, the relationships they maintain,
Mm,
and those kind of things. And some people might be very adamant and very strict. I think it's on a person to person. But the importance of paperwork is in the point that we don't need to waste this much of time in debating about who's right and who's wrong. If it is extremely clear on paper, what are the deliverables and what are the expectations
mm.
and what are the accountabilities. Yeah.
Right. So there's also this debate which is going on in the recent time. A lot of actors and producers they've spoken about it that several actors they tend to have unjust demands in terms of vanity vans and entourages and in many
Yeah.
cases the compensation like Aamir Khan has said that the actor should bear the monetary compensations for his staff rather than just putting it onto the producer. How do you look at these sort of elements?
See, I completely disagree. See, the eventually, if you are asking someone to work with you, and he will say, "I will come with this. I will charge that. You have to pay." It's up to you whether you want to take it or not.
Correct.
Anybody can ask anything, and why are they wrong? It is a guy who's giving, if at all there is wrong. But a producer
Mm,
might feel still it's okay for him. Another producer might not feel. Another producer might bitch behind the back. But the
mm,
bottom line is, it is not being thrust upon you without your knowledge. You are walking into it with your eyes open. I'm just
mm,
giving an example. Don't take the figures literally. If somebody is charging, let us say 10 crores, and this entourage will cost 1 crore more, you know. So you will say, "Arey, 1 crore ho gaya entourage ka." But another producer might think instead of 10, I'm paying him 11 because he comes. See, my another thing is stars are this like I mean, if you do not have that kind of an entourage or whatever benefit, why are you a star then? I mean, a star is not supposed to be confused with just anybody else. You can say that to a worker, an employee in your office. You come at 9, you go at 6. All this you can do. But can you do it to a star? The star might not say, but star will only come for 4 hours, let's say. Hmm?
Mm,
But then you want him or don't want him. So you can, in the beginning, say you have to come at 9 o'clock. You're only allowed this much of staff. You can say that, na? But if you're not
mm,
saying it, which means you're willing to pay for it. I remember very long time back, some even before I became a director, Dilip Saab for a Telugu production used to come at maybe around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and he only works for 2 3 hours.
mm, mm,
So at that time, I asked a production manager, how can this be tolerated? An actor for a 9 o'clock shift comes at 2 o'clock. He said, I will come for 9 o'clock shift, I will come at 6 o'clock. Will you take out Dilip Kumar and take me? He said, you
mm.
know. Yeah, so I completely disagree with this aspect of stars are throwing tantrums and entourages and all that. That's because they are saying it. This is what we need. It's up to you whether you want to take them or not.
Okay.
Nobody is demanding, nobody's putting a gun on you to do that. Yeah.
Right. Now, for example, for Dhurandhar, Ranveer, the way the sort of transformation that he did, physical transformation,
Hmm.
hair transformation, he gave it his all for I think 2 3 years. He was not doing
Yeah.
anything apart from Dhurandhar. Do you think that that sort of commitment is rare and truly remarkable? Because if he is doing multiple projects simultaneously, then the level of Divangi and Junoon that we see in his character, maybe it may not have been present.
I don't believe that. See, that kind of a commitment, lot of actors do, and those films
Mm,
become big flops also. I don't think the film success has got to do with an actor's commitment towards his time and his physical space. Prabhas also
mm,
does that. All Prabhas films are not super hits, you know.
mm,
Which actor doesn't do it? These days, every actor worth any kind of a market value, they
mm,
put in tremendous effort, and that effort
mm,
is not going to guarantee anything. Yeah.
mm. But so what do you think is the contribution of Ranveer Singh in the success of Dhurandhar?
See, I believe the success of a film in terms of but the choice the director is making, but without Ranveer, I can't imagine because I already saw Ranveer, you know.
Mm,
But the same Ranveer might not look very effective in some other film. Or
mm,
same Aditya, if he took somebody else, whether he will be, I don't know because I haven't seen that. You know. So
mm,
I think Durandar, I believe in my heart that the most contribution I believe only can be given to Aditya Dhar for the simple reason none of those actors were as effective in any other film before that. So that is coming
mm,
from within the script, within the character design, within the intensity of what Aditya Dhar was feeling.
mm,
Ranveer Singh might be a star, but every character whose names we never heard also are equally effective in the role what they were given.
correct.
You know, Akshay Khanna has been there for 30 years in the industry or maybe more. I've never seen him with this effective. No?
Right.
Or the guy Danish Pandor who played Ajaj Baloch, he's
Mm.
as effective. Who's not effective in Dhurandhar? There's not a single guy who the guy who played Babu Decoyed also. I can't take his face out of my mind.
You love him, yeah. You absolutely love him. You told me
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I love everyone in Dhurandhar. So I think
Mm,
that's come from a sudden, some certain tone which Aditya created,
mm,
and they fit in perfectly. It's like a Godfather, for example. Everybody is as good as Marlon Brando in Godfather. You know,
mm.
I think the film in its tonality was created a world, and they absolutely fit in into the jigsaw. Yeah,
You believe that the biggest hero of Dhurandhar is Aditya Dhar. That's what you are trying to
100%.
say.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah,
Do you think the director gets enough credit?
openly accept it or not, I believe everybody knows. Dhurandhar is a director's film, period. There'll be certain films a star can pull. There'll be certain films, maybe a music or whatever. Sometimes in olden times, even heroines used to do that in some films, you know. But Dhurandhar, I believe each and every, I don't know how to measure it, Each and every ounce or inch or whatever you call, I think it belongs to Aditya Dhar. There are a lot of people who try to say, oh, left wing hai, ye hai, right wing hai, jo bhi hai, and it is nationalism, it's about patriotism. That's like saying Sholay work because people connected to the plight of Ramgarh villagers. You know, films don't work like that. It is an extraordinarily entertaining film, intense film, and characters are relatable and awe-inspiring. And that is what the directors credited. It is nothing to do with the story theme. That is not the reason that picture worked.
Okay, so you've also said that it is stars like Ranveer Singh who sell tickets at the theaters and not FWICE. But wouldn't you agree that before Dhurandhar released, part 1 released, so Ranveer Singh was the most recognizable face as far as the movie is concerned. Akshay Khanna, Drishyam, or whatever, Akshay Khanna definitely
Yeah.
was not what he became after the movie released. So, what do you have to say about this? Stars like Ranveer Singh who sell tickets?
See, like now, I'm saying if in a general level, why is the star system? Star, by
Mm,
definition, is a guy who can pull an X number of people into the theater depending
mm,
upon his range, depending upon how many people liked and how many people like to watch him or her on the screen, which is the very definition of a star. You know,
mm,
so you are paying that money for this reason. Just now, what I mentioned. So the entire ecosystem of the financial aspect of money being coming into the box office, a significant part is of that is because of the stars.
mm,
Aditya Dhar is an exception. See, Aditya Dhar as a director, because of Dhurandhar tomorrow, he does with anyone, like a Rajamouli does with anybody also, because he developed that kind of a reputation with the audience. But the way a star can pull, directors cannot pull. Ranveer Singh can pull minus Aditya also, whatever range it is, you know. But a director without a star have a limitation in terms of which is the whole reason why star system exists in the first place. Yeah. So
okay,
yeah,
you're saying something.
yeah. So the ecosystem works mainly because of the stars, whether it is south or here or wherever it is.
Okay. So you've also said that it is stars like Ranveer Singh who create employment to those lakhs of workers.
So if the film industry basically is manufacturing films as a product, and that product consumer is coming to buy the product at a certain cost of a ticket price, mainly because of the star. Okay. So that example I just now gave. And because of that, the star becomes the most important aspect of film industry, which is what I mentioned. Yeah. See, you can say
Right.
or everybody together makes a film. The writer also is important, but you're not paying the writer anywhere near the star, na? Because people know eventually nobody comes to see a film because the writer is so and so. The pull factor is what makes the industry work. It is not about the content. Content happens after that. Why does a film get made is because of the star. And that is where the industry works. It's not about made. It's not about how it does at the box office. That's a completely separate chapter.
You also said that in summation, here is my unsolicited advice to all concerned. Let's not poke our unwanted noses into a civil dispute between two parties.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a favorite pastime. Like people love to, as you yourself
Yeah,
said,
that's what I'm
gossip.
saying. That's what I said. Gossip. Yeah. It's a people love because we, all of us have mouths and every mouth has an opinion and we keep talking. Yeah. Like I did.
Right.
My tweet also is same. I also
Right. No,
feel
but
like,
I
huh?
think when the way the level of clarity that you have is like the objectivity that you tend to have is truly remarkable. But sir, wouldn't you agree that we spoke about the jealousy part within the industry? The fact is that the industry tends to be divided, and that's something that has always been the case. Do you think at some stage, at maybe at some stage, the industry will develop some sort of unity and come together in certain
See, but then
matters?
first of all, I want to give clarity on this. There's no such thing as an industry. You know, see, industry is a term created by the media to overall talk. Why is Excel or why am I or why am Yash Raj or X or Y? There are thousand, maybe 500 to thousand producer production companies. All of them they have their own agendas. All of them are making their own films for their own purposes, their own capacities.
Right.
How is one company anywhere connected to another company? That's a separate business, each of those projects. For convenience sake, we're calling all of them as an industry. No, there's no such thing as industry, first of all. That's a
Right.
fallacy. Okay. Then each company, in the company itself, there will be politics going on. Somebody likes this, somebody doesn't like that. So that is a part of being human. You know, internal
Right.
company politics or whatever you call palace politics and political things are that human beings by definition from the time they get up in the morning till they sleep they play politics, they have jealousies, they have lows, they have highs. If one guy makes a big hit he will say the industry is fantastic, another guy loses money he will say the industry is fucked up. So each person has a different experience with the same with the same thing happening, and they'll all look at the perspectives of what they gained or what they lost. To give an example, and I'm just giving an old example, a Dar
Right.
is a super hit for Shahrukh, maybe not so much for Sunny Deol. You know,
Exactly.
yeah. So how then whether if you are then depends on who you ask. Somebody might have lost something from that film, somebody else gained. You know,
Like Padmavat, for example, Ranveer Singh gained and Shahid did not.
yeah, yeah, something
Padmavat,
like
yeah.
that. That happens all the time.
So there is this chatter which is also there that Ranveer wanted certain changes in the script of Dawn 3, and that is something that Farhan apparently did not like. You're a producer director yourself. Would you be open if an actor suggests changes in the scripts, and you're
See,
not
the point is not about
okay
being
with that?
open or closed. The point is you might agree. If you disagree, you always have the right not to do it. You always have the choice of not doing it. You know?
What is being said that three weeks before the movie was starting, he just opted out, and it is also being said that post Dhurandhar, maybe his priorities changed as well.
But I see, I
Things were
don't
different
talk
before
about
Dhurandhar.
what I don't know. How will I know that? No. What we don't know, it's being said that somebody said it, somebody didn't say it. We don't know. How can we comment? And we are not parties interested. We are not losing any money. We are not gaining any money. We are complete outsiders, and the aggrieved party or the accused party are the two different individuals, and they can only be settled in a court of law, if at all, or amicably. That is their wish. We, except for gossip, we have no business to poke our noses. That's what I meant in the last line.
Okay, but you being a producer director yourself, have you had instances when actors they've suggested changes? For example, like we heard about Rangeela, for example, that Aamir had certain issues, and apparently you ended up saying that the actor who played Pakia, that maybe he acted better than Aamir. That's like a very famous statement
See,
that came.
I kind of clarified that a lot of times, unless you want to hear it again, that's not how it happened. As far as Pake is concerned, I was talking to this journalist called Khalid Mohammed, who used to be famous at that time. You know, I said audience don't understand the difference between the contribution of an actor and the effect of the moment. What I meant was when Amir Khan says the AC Darumana, so that waiter is expression of disgust that he has to serve a guy who's sitting with that kind of yellow lens and like looking like a tapori. He hates himself for being able to, and that expression is what which made people laugh. The line is written by the writer, but Amir Khan will get the credit because he delivered it. You know,
Correct.
only in that context I was trying to dissect how a scene works in that example I gave. But Khalid went ahead and wrote a line. The waiter was better than Amir. You know, so I said that, but I said that in this context. But at that time, because there were no cell phones, I was doing some Telugu film after Rangila in some, some remote place in Andhra Pradesh. Amir couldn't get. People were asking Amir, how did Ramu say this? So when the waiter, sorry, the journalist provoked, Amir said that, and it ran into something. Later, I met him and clarified, and I told him that. Yeah. I told
Right.
this
But
hundreds of
but
times. Yeah.
you never worked with Amir after that. But but Amir is known to be someone who did one film at a point at that time, which was completely unheard of, and he was known to just get like, and Rangila was the first time that he literally just got into a very zone which was completely uncomfortable for him. It was like because he had this clean image, and in terms of like a chocolatey hero, and Rangila changed that whatsoever. So in that context, did and he's definitely like a collaborator, and he likes to give ideas and all those things. So did you have those experiences, and
See,
you've worked
see,
with many actors in the.
Amir is one of the, maybe I would say, the most genuine and passionate guy in terms of what he wants to contribute to the film he's making.
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
you will have discussions, and most of them are valid. Most of them, I think, were not necessary sometimes. Sometimes I think he was very right. And when there were time of a disagreement, uh, he said, Ramu, no two people can see anything the same way. If you are convinced about it, I will go your way. This is the only
Right.
discussion we had.
Mm.
And after he agreed that I am the director and I am doing it, he did it with complete conviction, which I know
Correct.
many actors don't do that. You know,
Mm.
so Amir, I would say, probably is the most, because he thinks for the film. He doesn't have his ego, which
Mm.
is what many actors have. So for all the reputation he's got, that he interferes or he kind of takes that he does in the interest of the film and genuinely works for it. It's not like on a whim he thinks of an idea and tries to impose his will at in a given random moment, which most actors do that. Yeah,
So
and the
once again,
actors
I'll just.
also, I feel, have a right to do that, because
Mm.
if he's the pull factor, and if he
Mm.
strongly feels this is how it works and the tickets are being sold because of him, I
Mm.
believe he's got a right to do that. Unless the
Mm.
director or producer say you cannot interfere. You have to do only what is in the script and what we tell. Can you have an agreement like that with an actor? No, you will never do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
But sir, for
So
example, if
an interesting thing I'll tell you. Lots of times I find writers and directors, they blame the actor when the film flops. He interfered too much. ये वो change किया, ये change किया. You keep on hearing those things all the time in the film industry. You know.
correct.
So with regard to this, I read a article in a Hollywood magazine, maybe 30 years back. So there he mentioned a very interesting this thing. Like, if the actor is getting paid $20 million and the
Mm.
writer is being paid, let's say, $500,000, you know, so the guy who gets paid more is supposed to know better psychologically first. But actor is being paid because of his face and his acting. The writer is being paid for what he's supposed to know what the story is by definition. But
Mm.
you are eventually paying for who is liking it. You're not paying for what you're writing.
Absolutely. But sir,
एक्टर को अच्छा लगा इसलिए हम दे रहे हैं ना पैसे, not for the writer alone.
सर आपकी हिंदी कमाल है वैसे
Because
मैं आपको बताऊं.
if the writer is going to make the script work, then you don't need the star.
राइट. ओके सर, मैं आपसे एक हाइपोथेटिकल सिचुएशन में आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ. ओके, मैं लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल एक एक एक्टर है, एक स्टार है, उसकी फिल्म जो है बहुत बड़ी हिट हो जाती है, और उसके बाद फिर उसको लगता है कि देन यू हैव द पीपल अराउंड यू एंड द को ट्री टेंड्स टू बी देयर. उनको लगता है कि दैट कि आपको एक सर्टेन तरीके की इमेज प्रोजेक्शन आपके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, एंड उस पर आप कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ मत करना टाइप्स. सो अगर वो अपनी अगली फिल्म के लिए फॉर एग्जांपल अगर वो कहता है कि सर्टन स्क्रिप्ट में वो चेंजेस चाहता है, एक सर्टन तरीके का प्रोजेक्शन चाहता है,
Yeah.
so is he like justified in that? And if the
See,
director of
that's what
the
I'm saying.
next
That
film.
again is between the two people, right? If
The
the
two people.
actor feels, if the actor has gained a certain popularity because of
Mm.
his earlier film, and he feels he knows what people like, he knows, and that's he's got every right to feel that,
Mm.
you know. And then he say, "मेरा character ऐसा का," that happens all the time. मेरा
Mm.
इमेज पे नहीं चलेगा, मेरा इमेज पे मैं डायलॉग ऐसा बोलूंगा, लेकिन सीन ऐसा बदलो. अरे, but all that is that is a part of the whole film making.
Correct.
No one can say I know, you know.
No one can say I know.
Then
That's true.
anybody making a decision have to be higher up on the food chain. Yeah.
Correct. So, f- you have a great script, for example. Would you approach Ranveer Singh today for doing your film?
See, I will approach anybody when I have that role, whatever I feel is good. I would have do that. I mean, everybody does that, you know, in films. Yeah.
Mm. But do you feel that there can be producers who can approach him for roles now?
Why wouldn't they approach? There will be 1 kilometer line if he says, "I want to sign." I mean, at that stage, he might be able to make two films a year, not more than that. He'll have his favorites. He'll have people who's comfortable with, and the other guys won't even be able to access him. Most of the producers, but if it comes to access, there'll be 1 kilometer line. Anybody can make the film with, and nobody will even bother about this dispute. Like that,
Right.
he made a producer spent or waste so many crores. Nobody will care about it.
Great. So मेरा एक आखिरी सवाल आपसे ये है कि you've interacted with Aditya very closely in the recent times. I have spoken to many actors and technicians from within the film, and all of them they have great things to say about him, about his planning and the way he treated every actor, even the actors who did not have that significant roles, but even then they were treated very nicely by him. Things were very systematic, organized, structured. Everything was properly done. Do you think that what Aditya has done with Dhurandhar, apart from the movie, how to make a movie, for example, do you think he has also set an example as far as that thing's concerned, and that is something the industry can learn from?
See, there is no doubt about it, but the industry cannot learn. I'll tell you. See, that is unique to Aditya Dhar in its terms of. See, I would like to think is probably the least expensive director we have, considering the scale at which he made the film. See, to my knowledge, if both the films together costed around 250 or something, 130 would be a piece per piece. And
Which is
imagine you
amazing.
are watching 500 crore, 400 crore, 560 crore films being shot for God knows 500 days and things like that. And then he shot, I think, both the films together and maybe
180
around,
days.
yeah, so
180
yeah,
days.
something like that. And that is unimaginable, you know.
It
That
cannot
comes
happen
on
without planning.
planning. That
Cannot
comes
happen
on
without planning.
planning.
Yeah.
That comes on clarity. But
Correct.
clarity has to be inbuilt in the person. You can't learn from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There is a certain director who might have made a very big hit, but he keeps on reshooting, he keeps on shooting with different angles, the same scene he keeps shooting. That is his working style. But as long as the film eventually works, people will forget that.
No,
And
I think
then
you're absolutely right.
if he has a reputation like that, you also can make a choice whether you want to work with him or not. Everything is in everybody's hands.
Right, right. I think that is brilliantly said. So, Ramu sir, thank you very much. I understand that you're extremely
Thank you.
busy, and thank you for your time and
Yeah.
amazing perspectives as always. Thank you so much, sir.